Bada bing bada boom. Hey there, globe-trotting explorers and couch potato adventurers. Are you tired of hearing about the same old 7 wonders of the world? Well, get ready to have your travel bucket list blown to smithereens. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of 40 wonders of the world, and trust me, some of these wonders are so new they still have that new wonder smell. So, grab your snacks, get comfy, and prepare to be amazed as we take you on a whirlwind tour of awe-inspiring marvels that range from the newest to the oldest, because, well, 40 is the new 7, right? Ha ha. Before we move forward, there's something you should know. AD, Anno Domini, and CE, Common Era, have the same meaning and may be used interchangeably, while BC, before Christ, and BCE, before Common Era, also have the same meaning and may be used interchangeably. Let's begin. Number 40, Universal Orlando Resort, Country, United States. Commissioned 1990. With the addition of the Harry Potter theme park in 2010 and 2014, it's a place of wonder for Harry Potter fans. Featuring a replica of Hogwarts is like a giant playground for adults where you can ride roller coasters with wizards. Pretend to be a minion for a day, complete with overalls and goggles, and see dinosaurs that are so convincing they almost convince you to run for your life. But don't worry, the butterbeer at the end of the day will magically erase all your prehistoric fears, and the mischievous Gringotts dragon will give you a fiery show as you pass by, assuring you it's all in good fun. See which magic wand chooses you as its master. Ha ha.
Asparagus.
Number 39, Shipwreck Bay in Zakynthos, Country, Greece. Incident occurred in 1983. Now, opened for tourists, is like the world's most elaborate prank by Mother Nature herself. A picturesque cove where she decided to play a game of hide-and-seek with a ship, but instead of hiding it behind rocks, she plunked it right in the middle and said, "Try finding treasure now." It's like the Mediterranean's secret laugh factory, where the waves whisper inside jokes to the cliffs, and the shipwreck looks like it's doing the cha-cha with the sand, saying, "I meant to do that." So, if you're in the mood for a nature-inspired comedy show, this is where you'll find Mother Nature's sense of humor at its finest.
Number 38, Genting Highlands, Country, Malaysia. Commissioned 1971. Nestled in the mountains of Malaysia, also known as the Hill of Entertainment, is the kind of place where even the clouds come for a vacation because they heard the views are to die for. It's where the vibrant casino feels like a giant game of musical chairs, and the chairs just happen to be at the slot machines. The Chin Swee Temple, deemed a world's wonder, with its majestic architecture, is so awe-inspiring that even the monks inside have trouble staying serious when they see tourists attempting to ring the giant temple bell with a selfie stick. In Genting Highlands, you'll find that the altitude is inversely proportional to your seriousness, and the ample opportunities for laughter flows as freely as the cable car that carries you up to this hillside haven, offering breathtaking sights. It's the kind of place for leisure where the real jackpot is the laughter you share with friends, whether you win or lose at the casino.
Number 37, Christ the Redeemer, Country, Brazil. Completed 1931. Imagine a colossal statue of Jesus perched high on a mountain, like the world's largest lawn ornament, just in case God loses his way and needs a beacon to find Brazil. That's Christ the Redeemer. It's like the big man upstairs said, "Let there be a tourist attraction." And voila! This giant dude with outstretched arms appeared, ready to give the whole city a heavenly high five. It's so massive that even King Kong would need a stepladder to reach the top, and if it ever decided to come to life, it could moonlight as Rio's resident yoga instructor, always reaching for the sky with eternal Zen vibes.
Number 36, Eiffel Tower, Country, France. Commissioned 1889. The Eiffel Tower, also known as Paris's giant iron selfie stick, is like the world's most famous, upgraded radio antenna, that the French decided to turn into a tourist attraction, just to prove they could make anything look chic. It's the ultimate stairway to culinary heaven, where you can climb to the top and pretend you're working off the calories from all those croissants you've been enjoying. And let's not forget, it's the best place in Paris is to play spot the beret, or to test your French vocabulary by trying to name every baguette-toting stereotype below. But beware, don't get too Eiffeled, or you might mistake it for your Airbnb and try to unlock it with your smartphone.
Number 35. Neuschwanstein Castle, country Germany. Accessible since 1886. Neuschwanstein Castle, the Cinderella dream palace of Bavaria, stands so tall that even Rapunzel would need a longer braid to escape, and its turrets are so pointy they make porcupines jealous. It's essentially a real-life Disney castle with a "No entry to Princess Charming" sign at the drawbridge.
Number 34. Victoria Falls, country Zambia. Acknowledged 1855. Victoria Falls, also known as Mother Nature's showerhead, or Africa's hilarious haircut, is like Earth's very own plumbing experiment gone wild, where the Zambezi River decided to show off by creating the world's biggest and most extravagant splash zone, complete with its own never-ending, high-powered shower that can drench anyone daring enough to get too close, a spectacle so awe-inspiring that even the resident hippos can't resist trying to photobomb the tourists' selfies with their cheesy grins.
Number 33. Great Barrier Reef, country Australia. Acknowledged 1770. Discovered by European captain James Cook, not the villain of Peter Pan, when his ship, the HMS Endeavour, struck the reef on June 11, 1770. The crew had to make repairs at Cooktown, Queensland, and they documented their encounter with the reef, subsequently acknowledged by the world. The Great Barrier Reef, also known as Mother Nature's Underwater Carnival, is like the ocean's ultimate theme park, with its colorful coral roller coasters, fishy Ferris wheels, and endless opportunities for snorkelers to play hide and seek with Nemo. It's the ocean's version of a pick and mix candy store, offering a buffet of marine life so diverse that even the fish have their own version of red carpet fashion shows. And if you think you've seen it all, the reef throws in some surprise guests like the camouflaged camelfish and seaweed-wigged-out turtles to keep your underwater adventure lively. Just remember, though, no selfies with the sharks. They have a reputation to uphold as the cool kids of the reef, and they prefer to keep it low profile.
Number 32. Taj Mahal, country India. Completed in the 17th century. Looks can be deceiving, it's not a mosque. Instead, it's a mausoleum ordered by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. The Taj Mahal, often dubbed as the world's most extravagant tombstone, is like a magnificent wedding cake that went slightly overboard with its frosting, making all other cakes in the bakery feel utterly inadequate. It's the place where the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan proved that diamonds might be a girl's best friend, but marble can be a close second. And if you squint just right, it looks like the most opulent snow fort ever constructed, with enough grandeur to make even Frosty the Snowman envious.
Number 31. Bled Island, country Slovenia. Major establishment in the 17th century. Bled Island, the world's quirkiest piece of real estate in the middle of a lake, is where the ducks hold their annual, synchronized quacking competition while trying to outdo the resident swans' ballet performance, and rumor has it that even the fish have a library card to the island's floating library. The church on the island has its very own ding-dong dash tradition, where visitors ring the bell and then pretend they didn't. Plus, the local rowers offer taxi services so you can get there in style while making punny jokes about rowing your boat gently down the stream, even though it's a lake. It's a place where gravity somehow manages to be a little less strict, making climbing up to the church a workout that feels like you're ascending to the heavens. But don't worry, there's a cream cake reward waiting at the top. More wonderful nature in Slovenia. Soteska Vintgar, the Vintgar Gorge or Bled Gorge.
Number 30. Paro Taktasang aka Tiger's Nest Monastery, country Bhutan. Built 1692. A renowned spiritual and architectural wonder, the Tiger's Nest Monastery in Bhutan is like that one house on the mountain that just couldn't resist showing off. It decided to perch itself on the edge of a cliff like it's starring in a dramatic action movie, probably auditioning for Extreme Makeover, Monastery Edition. They say monks climb more stairs in a week than they do in a lifetime. This place makes a stairmaster look like a child's playground slide. If you're visiting, don't forget your spiritual hiking boots, and maybe a jetpack to skip the thousands of steps, because this monastery takes the term elevated spirituality to a whole new level.
Number 29. Iguazu Falls, country Argentina. Acknowledged 16th century. documented by the Spanish and the Portuguese during their expeditions to South America in the 16th century. They say it's a devil's throat, Garganta del Diablo in Spanish, because of its majestic appearance, magnificent beauty, displaying the sheer power of the water, and the roaring sound of a raging beast leaving you spellbound. See it and you'll get what I mean. Iguazu Falls, also known as Mother Nature's thunderous water park, is like the world's grandest plumbing malfunction, where Earth decided to unleash its inner hydraulics and create the ultimate splash zone for tourists. It's so powerful that it could give any waterslide a run for its money, and the mist is nature's way of saying, surprise. You're all getting a free shower today. But be warned, the local wildlife has a cheeky sense of humor. The mischievous coati are the Picassos of picnic theft, and the butterflies are like glittering confetti that photobombs your every shot. So, if you visit, remember to pack a raincoat and a sense of adventure. The falls are the ultimate test of waterproof mascara.
Number 28. Castle of the Island of Loreto, country Italy. Dating back to the 16th century. AKA Isola di Loreto, lovingly referred to as Italy's original party island, is where ancient Romans first discovered the joys of sun, sea, and gelato, leading to the creation of the world's first ever Roman raves. Imagine gladiators dancing the night away with togas that doubled as disco balls, singing. And Julius Caesar showing off his impressive moves, all under the celestial guidance of DJ Neptune, the god of turntables.
Number 27. Machu Picchu, country Peru. Built 15th century. Often called the Incan wonder of the world, is like that one hidden snack you find at the back of your pantry. Only this pantry is located atop a stunning Andean mountain, and the snack is a 15th century archaeological masterpiece. It's the place where ancient architects played a real-life game of Jenga. But instead of wooden blocks, they used massive stone blocks, and they didn't intend for anyone to win. And if the Incas had Yelp, they'd probably give it a 5-star rating, with a comment like, "Great views, slightly challenging commute, would build again." Watch your step.
Number 26. Eilean Donan Castle, country Scotland. Constructed 13th century. It has a history as old as your grandma's secret shortbread recipe. Also affectionately dubbed, Scotland's oldest pile of stones by locals, is where knights in shining armor once gathered for jousting tournaments, but now it mainly hosts seagull knitting competitions and weekly bagpipe karaoke nights. No wonder the ghosts of its medieval inhabitants look so puzzled.
Number 25. Leaning Tower of Pisa, country Italy. Started 12th century, and took about 200 years to complete. Leaning about 4 degrees, often called the world's wonkiest architecture experiment, is like Italy's way of saying, oops, we built it this way on purpose. It's the LeBron James of towers. It leans on its own terms, making tourists tilt their heads, strike amusing poses, and question their sense of balance while trying to get that classic, "I'm holding up the tower" photo. It's also the world's most famous attempt at architectural yoga. Every year, it leans a little more, as if it's practicing its downward dog pose. And don't even think about taking it for granted. It's like the one tower that refuses to stand up straight at a family portrait. But hey, it's the quirks that make it endearing, and it's been leaning into its fame for centuries. Just remember, though, no one's allowed to do the limbo under it. There are safety rules, even for tilted towers.
Number 24. Angkor Wat, country Cambodia. Built in the early 12th century. Angkor Wat, also known as the original escape room, is like the granddaddy of puzzles, where ancient architects decided to challenge future generations with an intricate labyrinth of stone corridors and staircases, all leading to the ultimate treasure hunt for spiritual enlightenment. And if you're not careful, you might just end up having a monkey encounter with a mischievous temple guardian or discovering the secret passageway that actually leads to the world's oldest snack bar, where they served ancient Cambodian takeout, Angkor fries.
Number 23. Easter Island, country Chile. Moai statues exist around 1200 AD. Easter Island boasts a history as enigmatic as a chicken trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. Often called the world's most isolated open-air museum, is where colossal stone heads with expressions like they just lost a game of hide-and-seek dot the landscape, leaving visitors wondering if the ancient Rapa Nui people were simply trying to play the ultimate prank on future archaeologists or auditioning for a Stone Age boy band called the Moai 5, featuring hits like Rock the Ages and Block You.
Number 22, Alnwick Castle, Country, England. Formed around the 11th century. Alnwick Castle, often dubbed the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, for its starring role in the Harry Potter films, is so old that even its ghosts have retirement plans, and rumor has it that the medieval knights used to host jousting tournaments for stressed-out dragons looking for a little competitive fire-breathing fun.
Number 21, Castle of Rocca Calascio, Country, Italy. Built in the 10th century. Rocca Calascio has been the rock star of Italian castles for over a millennium. Often referred to as Italy's high-altitude turret, is where medieval knights apparently tried to outdo each other by building a castle so high in the Apennine Mountains that they could shout, "I'm on top of the world," every morning. Visitors today hike up to the castle, making it a workout regime fit for knights in shining armor. Except now it's just tourists in selfie sticks battling gusty winds and debating whether the view is worth the medieval Stairmaster workout.
Number 20, Chichen Itza, Country, Mexico. Built around the 8th to 10th centuries AD. A bustling hub for Mayan civilization, but sadly, it didn't have a Mayan equivalent of TripAdvisor to rate its famous pyramid. The Mayans designed the world's most elaborate stone basketball hoop, but sadly, didn't improve their dunking skills, but at least they won points for creativity. Why did the tourists at Chichen Itza refuse to play hide and seek with Mel Gibson from Apocalypto and the creepy vines from The Ruins? Because they knew that in a game of hide and seek, ancient ruins and angry Mayans always have the upper hand. You just can't beat centuries of practice.
Number 19, Tungnath, Country, India. Built around the 8th century. Tungnath, perched atop the Indian Himalayas where the divine meets the divine damn steep, is like Shiva's favorite stairmaster and the world's most daring rooftop party.
Whatever, la la la, it doesn't matter, la la la, oh well, la la la, we're going at it tonight, tonight, there's a party on the rooftop, top of the world tonight, tonight.
The kind of place where even the mountain goats have calf muscles the size of watermelons from all the climbing. Some requested elevators though. It's so high up that you might think Lord Shiva was playing a cosmic game of Catch Me If You Can with his worshippers, and when they finally found him, he said, "Congratulations, you're halfway there." In Tungnath, even the clouds play hide and seek with the temple, peeking out for a divine game of now you see me, now you don't. So, if you're looking for a spiritual workout with a side of comedic altitude, this is the spot where you'll find enlightenment, one step at a time.
Number 18, Fanjingshan Temple or Mount Fanjing, Country, China. Established 6th century. It has seen more reincarnations than your favorite cat meme on the internet. Affectionately known as the Zen Zest Resort, by monks seeking tranquility with a side of spicy tofu, is where enlightenment meets feng shui gone wild, making sure every meditating monk gets an optimal mountain view and free Wi-Fi, provided by divine intervention, of course, because even spiritual gurus need to check their social media karma.
Number 17, Itsukushima Shrine, Country, Japan. Built in the 6th century. Survived countless typhoons, and remains stubbornly floating, like a stubborn tourist on a pool noodle, on Japan's shores. Itsukushima Shrine, also known as the I Can't Believe It's Not Floating Butter Shrine, is a marvel of Japanese architecture, where the architects must have thought, why build on land when you can have your shrine afloat? A brilliant idea until they realized they forgot to install Wi-Fi on this remote island, leaving ancient monks with no choice but to meditate on the beauty of buffering screens while the tide rolls in and out.
Number 16, Hagia Sophia, Country, Turkey. Completed 537 CE. The Hagia Sophia, also known as the world's greatest architectural identity crisis, is like the building that couldn't make up its mind. It started as a cathedral, then decided it wanted to be a mosque, and finally thought it might look good as a museum. It's the ultimate interior decorator's nightmare, with stunning mosaics and intricate designs that would make anyone with a measuring tape dizzy. If these walls could talk, they'd probably say, "Make up your mind already." But hey, at least it's a historic masterpiece that's always up for a makeover. The real-life, house flipper, of architectural wonders.
Number 15, San Giulio Island, country Italy. Founded by St. Julius in the 4th century. Nestled in the middle of Lake Orta like the world's most scenic game of hide-and-seek, is so charming that even the fish here have impeccable table manners and prefer to dine on pasta with a view. And rumor has it that St. Julius himself founded the island simply because he couldn't resist the allure of Italian gelato, conveniently accessible by rowboat.
Number 14, Tomb of Jesus, Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Jerusalem, country Israel. Dating back to the 4th century CE. The Tomb of Jesus at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem is like the world's most famous roommate dispute that has lasted for centuries, where different Christian denominations are sharing this holy space, trying to keep the peace and avoid petty squabbles over who gets the cleaning duty, and don't even think about redecorating. It's so crowded with tourists and pilgrims that even Jesus might have trouble finding a quiet moment to contemplate his resurrection. Remember to respect the solemnity of the site, no matter how tempted you are to turn it into a holy disco, which, by the way, is not allowed. Also, avoid rearranging the furniture. The ladder placed by a Muslim family in the church's entrance window has been there for centuries due to a status quo agreement and can't be moved.
Number 13, Pantheon, country Italy. Completed 126 AD. The Pantheon in Italy, often dubbed the world's greatest architectural practical joke, is like the Romans decided to build a giant concrete frisbee and then used it to play the ultimate game of catch with the gods. It's the only place where you can experience natural skylight envy, where the oculus at the top lets in more sunshine than your kitchen window. And speaking of kitchens, the Pantheon's dome is so perfectly round that it's rumored Michelangelo tried to use it as a giant pizza oven, unsuccessfully, of course. If the walls could talk, they'd probably say, "We're still standing." But don't be fooled by its age. This ancient wonder is like the Mick Jagger of architecture, timeless and always ready for a great concert, or a gladiator battle, depending on the era. Don't forget to test drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Maserati when you're there.
Number 12, Roman Colosseum, country Italy. Completed around AD 80. It has stood the test of time as a symbol of ancient Roman engineering and entertainment. In a world where emperors held extreme reality shows, the Colosseum was the original binge-watching spot, an oversized stadium where ancient Romans came for epic battles, fierce gladiators, and thumbs-up or thumbs-down ratings, making it the ultimate precursor to today's Netflix and chill sessions, but with a bit more sand and a lot less popcorn. It's where the phrase, "I'm not lying," originated. The Colosseum once hosted exotic animal fights, and you can still see tourists trying to reenact their best Russell Crowe, "Are you not entertained?" impressions. Plus, the Colosseum is essentially the world's first retractable roof stadium. Well, the roof was made of cloth back then, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Don't forget to test drive a Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Maserati when you're there.
Number 11, Colossus of Rhodes, country Greece. Erected around 280 BC. A colossal statue of the sun god Helios was built on the Greek island of Rhodes, and it stood for only about 54 years before it was toppled by an earthquake. Once upon a time, in the sunny land of Rhodes, there stood the original solar panel, the Colossus of Rhodes, or as the locals like to call it, Big Helios. It was the ancient world's attempt at green energy, harnessing sunlight and providing shade to countless beachgoers. Sadly, this giant statue wasn't known for its sunblock application and turned a bit rusty. To make matters worse, it fell over in an earthquake. Literally the world's first and largest game of, "Oops, I tripped." So, instead of becoming the first selfie backdrop, it just became an ancient engineering blooper reel.
Number 10, Lighthouse of Alexandria, country Egypt. Built around 280 BC. Constructed on the island of Pharos in Alexandria, Egypt, to serve as a functional lighthouse until it was destroyed by several earthquakes and stood for about 1,500 years. In a world where lighthouses were like ancient traffic cones, the Lighthouse of Alexandria was the original gangster glowing beacon, helping sailors find their way with its luxurious, multi-level balconies and a rooftop party deck featuring the original disco ball, the fire at the top. It was so tall that even local seagulls needed in-flight movies to avoid getting lost. But alas, after serving as the world's first disco lighthouse, it hit a rocky dance floor when it came crashing down, the ancient world's way of saying, "Oops, I stepped on your toes."
Number 9. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, country Turkey. Constructed around 350 BC. A grandiose tomb for the ruler of Caria, Mausolus. Once upon a time in Halicarnassus, they decided to give forever home a whole new meaning by constructing the mausoleum. It was so fancy that it made even the pharaoh's pyramids look like glorified sandcastles. Mausolus, the VIP of Caria, must have had the ultimate FOMO, fear of missing out, in the afterlife. This tomb was such a showstopper that they couldn't resist naming it after him. In its heyday, it was the place to be buried. Everybody who was anybody wanted to be the talk of the underworld. Fast forward a few centuries, and you've got modern tourists marveling at the ruins, probably wondering if the mausoleum had a wait list in the afterlife. Once an impressive and grand structure, only ruins remain today over earthquakes and time. The site of the mausoleum is now marked by an empty platform and some reconstructed elements to give visitors a sense of its original grandeur. But hey, at least you can visit Bodrum Castle built from the stones of the mausoleum.
Number 8. Petra, country Jordan. Capital of the Nabatean Kingdom in the 4th century BC. Picture this. A bunch of Nabateans got tired of living in regular neighborhoods and decided to build a city in the middle of a rose-red desert. They thought, why settle for a suburban bungalow when you can have a rock-carved palace with a view? The best part? They created the world's first ever secret entrance. Who wouldn't want a hidden passage that's cooler than a James Bond gadget? And for those who thought camels were just for transportation, they clearly hadn't heard of the Nabateans, who turned them into the original desert Ferraris. Petra is proof that when ancient folks put their minds to it, they could create a city that makes Disneyland look like a kiddie playground, all while managing to keep their secret recipe for spice trade.
Number 7. Acropolis of Athens, country Greece. Built between 447 and 438 BCE during the Golden Age of Athens. The Acropolis of Athens, often referred to as the world's original VIP club, is like the ancient Greeks who decided to throw a celestial party on a hill and invited the gods as their first-rate guests of honor. It's the original Temple Tinder, where they swiped right on magnificent architecture, and it's still a hot spot for art and history lovers today. With its marble columns and statues, the Acropolis is like the ancient world's version of MTV Cribs. And if statues could talk, they'd probably gossip about who had the best marble abs. But beware, don't challenge the local pigeons to a game of chess. They've been guarding this place for centuries and have the strategy down to a feather.
Number 6. Statue of Zeus at Olympia, country Greece. Created 5th century BC. In a world where size matters took on a whole new meaning, the statue of Zeus was the ultimate overachiever. Imagine having a toga party where the guest of honor was 40 feet tall and made of ivory and gold, rocking the most stylish beard in ancient history. Zeus didn't just crash parties, he made his entrance in style, seated on a magnificent cedarwood throne, like the world's first royal lazyboy. His golden sandals could probably make your shoes feel positively pedestrian. The Greeks knew how to throw a divine soiree, and anyone who didn't invite this gigantic deity probably had a case of major FOMO, fear of missing Olympus. The statue of Zeus at Olympia now lies in ruins. Zeus must be up in the heavens throwing divine shade on his interior decorator.
Number 5. Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, country Turkey. Built around 550 BC. In the quirky world of ancient architecture, the Temple of Artemis was the original, eternal construction project. They just couldn't make up their minds. One minute it's standing tall and glorious, and the next it's in ruins. Imagine the architects scratching their heads, saying, "I think we need more columns this time. No, wait, let's try marble. Okay, maybe a moat." It's like they were playing a never-ending game of divine architectural makeover. In the end, it's as if the temple decided, "You know what, I'm taking a vacation," and decided to crumble into history's most famous pile of ancient rubble. Yup, it lies in ruins today.
Number 4. Hanging Gardens of Babylon, country Iraq. Built around 600 BC. In the mystical world of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, gardening reached new heights, quite literally. King Nebuchadnezzar, not content with traditional gardens on solid ground, decided that his greenery needed an upgrade, or should we say, up-hedge. These gardens were so high up that even the birds complained, saying, "We wanted a bird's eye view, not a human's eye view." Legend has it that Nebuchadnezzar constructed these gardens as a romantic gift to his wife, who apparently had a thing for epic garden dates. So, in a quest to be the ultimate husband of ancient times, Nebuchadnezzar managed to defy gravity, logic, and possibly common sense by creating an elevated horticultural wonder that put all other garden enthusiasts to shame. Artificial ducts can be seen. Babylon does exist. However, it was built out of mud bricks, which do not last long. Today, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon are the original, upcoming attraction, opening date to be determined, in the Ancient Worlds theme park, where admission may require a time machine and a vivid imagination.
Number 3. Great Wall of China, country China. Construction began in the 7th century BC. Taking several centuries to complete, it's the world's most ambitious, "Do Not Disturb" sign. The Great Wall of China was built to keep out unwelcome guests, but it became the world's longest caterpillar-shaped tourist attraction instead. Imagine ancient laborers saying, "Let's stack these stones really high to keep those pesky neighbors out." Or, give them a chance to see the Great Wall's architectural marvel. With so many bricks, it's no wonder it's the only man-made structure you can see from space, making it the ultimate destination for extraterrestrial tourists and Earth's most determined hikers.
Number 2. Stonehenge, country England. Dating back to around 2500 BC. It has spent millennia being the world's most mysterious and photogenic pile of rocks, which, also known as Earth's most perplexing game of Jenga, is where ancient Britons apparently attempted to create the world's largest DIY do-it-yourself Stone Age calendar, or, more likely, engage in some early form of extreme rock stacking, leaving modern archaeologists scratching their heads and tourists pondering if it's a prehistoric selfie station where cavemen once practiced their stone-faced expressions for posterity.
And the most ancient man-made structures of all, the oldest of them. Number 1. The Giza Necropolis and the Great Pyramid of Giza, country Egypt. Built around 2560 BC or earlier. The Giza Necropolis, also known as Pharaoh's ultimate pyramid scheme, is like the world's oldest real estate development project, where the ancient Egyptians built giant sandcastles that could make even the most ambitious beachgoers envious. These pyramids are the original stairmasters, challenging everyone to climb to the top while pondering life's great mysteries, like, how did they stack those massive stone blocks without a forklift? It's the ultimate, eternal resting place, where pharaohs got the VIP treatment in the afterlife, complete with pyramid-shaped infinity pools and pyramid-themed mummy fashion shows. And let's not forget the Sphinx, the original, stone-faced, celebrity, still guarding its secrets and giving riddles that would stump even the wisest owl. Just remember, don't try to pyramid scheme your way to the top. The Sphinx is watching.
There are places even older than the Giza Necropolis and the Great Pyramid of Giza but not listed. The order of the list reflects the approximate historical timelines of these remarkable places. If you're traveling to one of them, bon voyage!
Consider getting items with the description link below, and thanks for watching. Adios.